Good evening and welcome. Wow, it is the last Thursday of the month already, which can only mean that it's the Health and Wellbeing Café. And I am so excited, so happy and grateful to be here with wonderful women who've joined the live experience. And we're going to have some fun this evening and also learn something new. If you don't know who I am, my name's Vanessa-Mary, and I am a lifestyle coach for mums, supporting mums of all ages to basically build your resilience. So this may be in your physical well-being, your mental well-being, emotional well-being, and even spiritual well-being. So welcome to the Health and Wellbeing. I love that word, obviously, cafe. So I'm just going to pull up the slide and here we go. All right, so what we do here is we meet on the last Thursday of the month, and it's all about sharing happiness habits rather. Okay, so yes, excited as always. And the Zoom etiquette, I'm going to skip past because the women who have joined me this evening, they know the etiquette of this call. So they have muted themselves and put themselves on to the camera off if they don't want to be seen. All right, so great to have you here, Joe, Louise, and we do have our guest contributor, Elke. So I always like to check in about expectations. What's brought you on tonight's call this evening, please? I'm going to pick on you, Joe. Yeah, you look fabulous, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, just wanted to learn something new, connect with other people, and I just love tuning in to Wellbeing Café.
Oh, thank you, my darling. And of course, you've experienced the live version of the cafe as well. So don't worry, the live version will come back one day. All right. Does anybody? Oh, Louise has got her mic off. Hi, Louise. What would you like to share with us?
Hi, Joe, Elke. Yeah, just really interesting to find out more about pain relief naturally. Get away from the painkillers. Anything that's going to help will be fabulous. And it's always great to learn something new as well. I've been out and bought some tennis balls, so I'm ready if we're using tennis balls tonight.
That is fantastic, Louise. I put this message out about the tennis balls, and of course I didn't have time to get the tennis balls, but I was told by a little source that Elke said we could have socks. Is that okay? So I have socks. Different colours.
I'll say that later.
Yeah, we'll bring that later. And what about yourself, Elke? Because obviously you have experienced the Health and Wellbeing Cafe as a guest, so it's great to have you.
I have, because obviously I knew I was invited to this to give a talk here, so I thought I need to know what sort of people are there and how this is all going and what your format is and so on. And I loved it then, so I'm glad to be back. And obviously I'm here to share some information or myths about chronic pain, and hopefully we can do some practical things and that might help you in one way or another. And yes, you're right, we can just have socks folded up, just like that. If you do that, it will be roughly the size of a tennis ball, and we'll get away with that for tonight. You can always get hold of better balls at a later stage.
I love it. A little bit of humour already. Okay, so unfortunately, Julia was not able to be with us, but I do want to acknowledge my community coordinator, Julia, because she's doing so much fantastic work for the Health and Wellbeing Cafe, and also to support me as I'm supporting others out in the community. So Julia sends her apologies for this evening. And yeah, I did introduce myself already. So for those of you who are here with me, thank you so much for supporting the live version of the call. For those of you that will be tuning in, I've already had requests for the replay. Obviously the live experience, you get to ask direct questions to the guest contributor, but I do appreciate that things come up in live. So thank you so much for tuning in to the replay. All right, so just a quick recap on my vision is really important, and you'll kind of get this when I share the topic that I'll be talking to you about this evening, which is how to zap procrastination that does pop up in life. So I do want to hone in on my vision, and my vision really includes being out in the community, which is happening again through the work that I'm doing in Zumbini. Joe is in this picture. Wow, Joe. In fact, are you holding? Yeah, you are holding Elijah. I think we might have done a swap on that. But Joe's in the middle with Elijah and Zenta. And now, well, Elijah's going to be 3 next week. We've been invited to the birthday party. So, you know, what I'm doing out in the community, supporting mums to build their resilience with their physical health, their mental well-being, emotional well-being. And also I do touch on spiritual things because I work with the angelic realm, and I just love to share the joy of metaphysical tools, principles, and knowledge. But, you know, magical things are happening, and my vision is very, very clear that, you know, for me to reach out, whether it be in the online space, as I'm doing this evening, or in the physical space, and support mums in their journey of well-being. And of course, I do have women who don't have children, and that's not a problem, because it's all about your, what do they say? Your tribe is attracted to your vibe. So I must be doing something good, because we are actually a lovely eclectic mix of women. So thank you so much for being on the call with me, and also part of the community if you are part of the community. So let me just tell you some of the things that I do. Now, I think I've skipped past the first one there. Yes, I am an ambassador for Herbalife Nutrition. This is really important for me to continue to talk about this, because it was my own journey back to health and well-being, which has really given me the strength and also the energy. I know, you know, these women who are on the call, they see me texting and posting at all different times of night. And then Elke and I, we network together. So we can be on an 8 o'clock call, Elke, or a 10 o'clock call. And hopefully I look fresh and energetic. So Herbalife Nutrition is definitely part of that for me. And I'm so proud that, you know, my Zumbini career has just started. I'm just getting going in that arena, but there's already exciting times. And of course, Mama Joe and little Elijah were one of the first to come through that program. So it was amazing. Thank you for supporting me there. All right. So what else have we got? And I've always got this issue, haven't I, with the mouse? Yeah, I'm so proud to tell you that I'm the group leader of the 4N Parents Networking Lunch, which is a bi-weekly meetup for business owners. So for parents in business, so you may even be a grandparent, or you may provide services to parents in business. Come and speak to me if you want to know about that. We meet on a Monday, but it's a bi-weekly session at 12 o'clock. Okay, and soon, I'm so excited about that, I will be setting up my own Mums at Work network here in Nottingham. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be exhibiting my Zumbini services next week. So I'm already networking with other mums who provide similar services. So I will be sending out invitations for us to have our own meetups, and that will be on behalf of the Mums at Work network. So I'm just so excited. There's a lot of things happening. But of course, vision does include giving back to others. Now, one of the things that I am announcing here, we haven't set the date, well, we haven't, how do you say, confirmed the date, Joe, for our first Pram Fit stroke Infant Fit Pram, what's it called? Sports Day, sorry. It's happening in August. I think I'm going to go for the Sunday. So that'll be the 21st of August. Said it, you heard it here first. So there you go. It's 21st of August. Yeah, that's going to be a fundraiser, because as you know, Joe, you know, we raised funds back in 2019 for Aid for Gambia, for the little ones to provide milk, and we haven't really been active. So this summer's event is definitely going to be a fundraiser for my 2 nominated charities there. All right, so back over to the women who are on the call with me. I'd love to find out what you were getting up to in July, which has supported your healthy, active lifestyle. So please tell me about your highlights. Who wants to share first, please?
Go on then.
Go on then.
Go on then. Just focusing again on water and also movement. So my step counts on a few occasions have been quite high. Did a day in London, walked quite far, and also focusing on social time, which is part of my well-being. Not necessarily healthy, active, but yeah, it's part of the wellness. So been quite busy.
Oh, you're so amazing. Well done for keep going with this. And you know, this is what I love these stories, because Joe and I have been working together since what, 2018? So healthy
Yeah.
lifestyle isn't just a one-day pursuit. And Louise, hi.
Hi. Yeah, not been doing much July, but simple things like drinking a lot more water, gradually changing my diet to eat so much more fruit, cutting out the majority of the junk food, just eating a lot more healthier, really getting on track. I've been doing very simple things this month. And yeah, little steps. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Just little steps to improve my health.
Absolutely love it, Louise. You know, anyone who wants to shout out on the water, you're going to get a big up from me anyway. So cheers, Elke. And the fruit, very interesting. You know, just before we started recording, I was explaining about Zenta and his energy levels. And I would say that Zenta's more or less a fruitarian, because most of his what he eats throughout the day is fruit. It's like different, you know, the top of our shopping list is fruit, basically. Dad is very good at, you know, when the fruit basket's gone low, it's always topped up. So I love to hear that, Louise. Well done. Just want to welcome Helen and Bex onto the call. So thank you so much for being here. Hey, there she is. Hi, Bex.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm currently getting my nails done, but this is hashtag self-care. And I could only get in, and I'm supporting a female-led small business in Derby, so it's worth it.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you're still supporting me as one of your busy mates, so I love it. Thank you so
I'm
much.
multitasking, but with regards to healthiness, I've started vegan keto, and I'm already gluten-free, so there's a lot of things I've got to cut out. Yeah, so it is tricky, but the next stage is to start going walking every night, because I think walking's just as effective as aerobics or anything. So that's my next step. And water, oh my gosh, I'm trying to drink more water, because water is life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so yeah, any encouragement. Oh, Joe's drinking water now.
Well, to be fair, you know, as I've just said, Joe's been working with me for quite a while now. So she's been involved in the water challenges that I've done. And then being part of the water challenge, you get assigned a water buddy. So, you know, it's these little things, but congratulations, Bex. I really love to hear all these activities. It's super. And walking, you know, just a quick story about my walking journey. After I had Zenta, I was an older mom, for anyone who doesn't know that part of my story. And I was really sort of like not right, put it that way. And I knew that I needed to get back to physical health as quickly as I could. And I thought, what could I do which is gentle, but it gets me kind of moving? And what did I turn to? It was walking. And then out of walking formed the PramFit community, and then out of the PramFit community it's like all of this. So you never know where a walk is going to lead. Brilliant. Okay, so Helen said that she had to just nip off for a minute, so I'll ask her another question later on. So we've heard about health highlights, what's going well. Tell me where you feel you need to place your focus, please, for this? So it's going to be the month of August, but I'm also going to say for the month of September, because we don't do a Health and Wellbeing Cafe in August. So for the next 2 months, where will you really put your focus? I'd love to hear that, please.
Exercise with me. Sorry, go.
Go on. We all talk.
Go on, Louise.
Yeah, for me it's still food, because I feel that concentrating on just that area, area, like I've just said, and keep improving on that, and also starting to do my walks again.
Perfect.
Definitely. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's my focus for the next 2 months. Meeting up more with community and doing walks with community as well. That's my challenge for next month.
Okay, brilliant, Louise. And Joe, you were going to share something?
I was going to say my focus is going to be on exercise, because I think that really boosts my mood and shake off the kind of lazyitis that I've picked up from not swimming and not doing enough movement and exercise. So yeah, exercise is probably a big thing, because I'm getting on track with eating, or getting better, I think, with that.
That's fantastic. And tonight's little talk that I'm going to give you is called Zap Your Procrastination, Joe. So hopefully you may pick up at least one thing that you can immediately apply into your plan. Beck, over to you. What will you be focusing on, my dear?
Again, continuing with the keto, and learning about reducing sugar, whether it's through carbs or actual sugar, and having more fat in my diet, which is a really strange concept, really, because we're always told not to have fats, aren't we? So it's a new way of eating. So I want to continue with that, see if it works, and exercise. Oh, and water. So basically everything.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the healthy fats. So, you know, your body does need healthy fats. And I feel that the way how we've been kind of conditioned in this country, well, I think across the world, how we're looking at food, we need to have that balance. So fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing about that. All right, so let's move through. Didn't I find a better way of doing this last time? No, I didn't. Anyway, so here's the little program for the evening. In a minute, I'm going to talk to you about how you can zap, I don't know if I spelled it properly, but it's zap your procrastination. And then we are going to have our practical demonstration from the amazing Elke, she calls herself the Natural Painkiller. So she can give us her demonstration and tell us more about what she does. Then we'll have a short break, and then we're going to come back. When we come back, I'm going to share a little bit about my story, and it's really framed around changing your mindset to change your life. So how important mindset is when you are embarking on your healthy, active lifestyle. And also there will be a raffle. Okay, so one of the prizes is self-care love. So it's a half-day session with me, which does involve emotional fitness. It is one of my signature elements of my coaching services, and I'd love to go through that session. In fact, we have Louise who's on the line. You've actually experienced this, Louise. Is there anything that you can say about the emotional fitness? I called it heart-centered coaching, but it's the same thing. Is there anything you wanted to share about that, please?
Yeah, I loved it. I never experienced anything like it before. It was very powerful. And I know we still haven't arranged a second session, but I would really like to take you up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just fabulous. Yeah, just fabulous, really uplifting, and just, I can highly recommend it. I'm not being very descriptive, but I do apologize.
No, because you know, basically it's about the woman's personal breakthrough. And I've just read an update from a woman on Facebook. She does network marketing with Utility Warehouse, and she's just put up a powerful update about her shift. Okay, now she's a team leader, now she's got these customers, now this and that. But when she had, I'm not saying it's all down to me, because obviously it wasn't, but when she had that first session with me in February, she was not saying that, put it that way. So it does release the energy, and it gives you the space to focus and really go for what you want. So that's part of the prize. Anyway, I'm going to give you some dates because I've got something really exciting to share. So that's the dates that I'll be giving you. But we want to celebrate your wins. And if there is time and you want to stay, you will be able to network. So I always love to share quotes. And this quote is probably, it's not one of my ultimate favorites from Jim Rohn, but I love to remind others about this. It's, you know, in this life, you have to design your life plan, because if you don't, nobody's going to do it for you. Okay, because they don't have much planned for you. That's the point. So you really got to design your plan and then go for it. Now, in this personal development session, I am going to talk to you about how you can zap your procrastination. So before I go into, I've only got 5 tips for you, because there's loads of tips that you can either research yourself or you may have your own solutions. But before I go into it, I just want to share a small story about a man that Elke and I actually know. And he is, well, I'm describing him as the founder of the networking group that we're part of. But as from Monday, he's stepping into his greatness. I've described it here, and he's moving on. But the reason why I've chosen to share Brad's story, so this is the network. So Network Central is the business, and it has different elements to it. So the 4N networking part is where I'm a member of, Elke's a member of, and I just love Brad's story in the sense of he was £25,000 in debt. He had no income. He was delivering pizzas. In his own words, he actually describes his, I suppose, like the knowledge and what he felt he was capable of doing in his life was limited. And this was 16 years ago. But he really, truly believed in himself. And even though his wife begged him to go and get a proper job, he said, no, there must be a different way of creating a networking organization that's going to not just benefit people in terms of their business, but also in their life. Now, I'm a very new member of the network. I've only been a member for just like over a year, but I know that my life has truly changed, and I can just feel, it's like I don't even know what's waiting for me. I don't know who I'm going to meet as part of this network, but the women and the men that I have met, they are truly remarkable. I mean, we have Elke with us here, and, you know, even this year, the speakers that I've had as part of the health and wellbeing community, I have connected to them through the 4N network. So why have I brought this up? Well, I've brought this up because it may have been easy for Brad 16 years ago to just like not believe in his vision, not believe in himself. And the first point that we're going to touch on about procrastination is you have to deal with your fear. You have to face your fear. It's incredibly important. You have to believe that you are enough and that you do deserve to step into your greatness, to step into your power. But you do have to have a clear vision, as Brad did. He knew that there must have been a better way. He didn't have the finances. He was let down. Well, not let down, but he was turned down rather from the banks. So the traditional ways of starting a business weren't working for him. But he believed in his vision. He faced his fear, and that's what drove him. Hi, Helen. That's what drove him to actually push through on procrastination, which could have been easy to sink into at that point. You have to recognize your own patterns of procrastination. And here I'm talking about the bandwidth, okay? So when you're wanting to start something new, what is your bandwidth in terms of stickability? Are you okay for the first day? You know, is everything going well? Like, yeah, I'm doing this. And then like the second day, something comes up and maybe you've forgotten what you were supposed to be doing. Or can you last for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? I want you to start observing your own bandwidth, because once you start to just pause and observe who you really are, it will help you to have an appreciation of how you can start to overcome your procrastination. Now, yes, it is obvious to break down your goals into small tasks. But what I want to say here is something that I heard literally today. He said it in a different way that I'm going to say, because I'm going to say it in my way. But what he was saying is, look, life is full of tasks and activities that you don't want to do. Yeah. And even Brad from the 4N network, he has a way of saying you can't get somebody else to do your press ups for you. And I've been like, yeah, that is so true. So there's always going to be things in your life, whether it's your business, your health, your well-being, your career, that you just don't want to do. But as we know, there's a consequence for everything. So you are going to have to face the pain of getting that thing done. Now, as you may appreciate in your own life, if you put things off, then sometimes the consequences getting so big that you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to do this now. Yeah. So what this man was saying is, if you put off the pain today, then actually all you're going to do is face a greater pain in the future. I thought that was really powerful. And Jim Rohn talks about, do you want to face the pain of regret, disappointment? And just really thinking to yourself, well, I could have been, I could have done, yeah, I intended to. Someday, yeah, I'll get that done. No, we have to push through this. So how are you going to do that? Well, just let go of your thoughts of being perfect. Life isn't perfect. Life is messy, okay? What I'm doing as I'm stepping into my vision, there's so many other ways that I could do this. I could like say, oh, but I haven't got the resources. I don't have this. I don't have that. But you know what? You just have to do it. Make a plan, obviously. Make your plan. But just decide on one big thing that you are going to get done on this day. Okay? So yes, you may have all these different tasks, activities, which we know are going to lead you to that big goal. But if you have a lot going on in your life, and I'm speaking to the women here who have other caring responsibilities as well as maybe a job or other things going on in your life, and you can't get all of these things done because it's just not enough time or it's not practical for you. Just really focusing on that one big thing that you will be achieving by the end of the day. And finally, connect with others who inspire you to take action. I'm going to tell you about the Sizzle Sisters. It's actually sisters, but I'm going to say sisters. And we have our first sister on the call, Helen. Oh my gosh. High five, high five. Because oh, second one, there she is, back. Oh, with green nails, I love it. Because, listen, this is so important that you hear this, and Beck heard me rambling on last night. I was going through some pain 2 weeks ago. Not physical pain that Elke's going to deal with, emotional pain. Like, pain of like, oh gosh, what am I doing? What is happening? And, you know, if you heard what I said on today's Facebook, yesterday's Facebook, I spoke about solitude. I had a moment of solitude and I just let the energy flow. And I was guided to find my Sizzle Sisters, okay? And the Scissor Sisters, this conversation, so for any of you that are watching the replay, if you receive a text from me reaching out to you to ask you for 5 minutes of your time, it is actually because I was guided to reach out to you. This is no joke, honestly. I was guided to reach out to you. After what, 2 days, and we haven't even got started yet, Helen. What is your, I know you probably don't even know what's going on, but one of the things you wanted, yeah, which I'm not going to reveal because that was personal to our conversation, but I feel that you're already stepping into that. After 1-2 days of being with us, what are your thoughts as a Scissor Sister?
I feel empowered, actually.
Fantastic. We haven't even got started. What we're actually going to be doing hasn't even begun because it all happens from the 8th of August. So for Joe and for Louise and for Bex, who are already in the community, you're going to see more and more and more women coming in, okay? Because why? I refuse to let my fear stop me from my mission. And I know that these women who are going to be, you're going to see them, you're going to hear them, you're going to hear their breakthroughs. They are with me for a reason. So connect with others that inspire you. You will get the support. Everybody needs support. Beck gave me a really good supporting conversation last night. Everybody needs encouragement. But more importantly, we need the accountability. So tell others what you are working on, and you will see how focused, I'm going to use Helen's word, empowered, you will become. You will step into it because you know that you are surrounded by others who are on a similar path to you, and they are rooting for you 100%. So that is my little, I always give these little talks, Helen. I know that it's your first time on the call, but I like to share these thoughts. So can you see the presentation as it come back up, the slide? Yeah, are we all good? All right. So moving on. I've given you an outline of the Scissor Sisters, okay? These are very special women. There's only, I can't even say 17 of them. What are my maths now? I think there's 13, okay? So don't worry if you've not had that call, if you've not had that text. If your name's on the list, I've just been busy, I will be reaching out to you. But if the Scissor Sister Project isn't for you, but you're saying, actually, Vanessa, I want to be part of this community anyway, then come in, become a connected sister, okay? There's a private WhatsApp group. Helen's been in that group for 2 days, and she's already using the word empowered, and I ain't even got started with what we're doing. You'll be coming to the monthly health and wellbeing talk here with the networking. You'll be experiencing the group coaching and accountability. Plus, there will be self-care Sundays waiting for you as well. And for $12.99 a month, I mean, Beck gave me a good telling off last night about money. So Beck's already going to say that's too cheap, but that's the price. All right, I'm not going to read out the testimonials because we've got women on the call who are experiencing this anyway, so you're going to hear from them, I'm sure. But it is that time in the evening where I'm going to hand over to our fantastic guest contributor, Elke. We recorded the podcast chat last week. It was fantastic. I love to hear your story. If anybody hasn't heard that yet, for those who are on the call, I will drop the link into the call. I'll also drop it into the WhatsApp group as well. Check out Elke's story after this. She's got a brilliant testimonial of how she's become the natural painkiller. So Elke, it's over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So I did decide to do a bit of practical demo, but because didn't quite know who's on the call, I also asked You know, what do people really need? Is it back, neck, shoulder problems? Do they have postural problems? Where does their pain come? Where is it situated? Is it stress, anxiety, anything like that? I don't know where the poll ended, so I decided to do a bit on most of the things. So hopefully you all get something from it. Before we go into the practical bits, I just very quickly touch on why I am so passionate about pain relief in a natural way. So drug-free, you know, with movement or other release techniques and so on. Because I had chronic pain, or I had a fair share of pain myself. I was involved in a really bad car accident where I only woke up in hospital. I was unconscious. I broke my back. I had a scar up here of 10 centimeters. And so it took a while to recover from that. I fell down the stairs while being pregnant. So that was a trauma in itself, but I broke a coccyx as well. So that was painful and took a while to recover. I was diagnosed with a prolapse. So again, it was months of back pain and so on. I did not want the nerve block they offered me. And so I was always looking for natural ways to get out of my own pain situation. And my son suffered from mental health issues when we first moved here. So with him, I spiraled down because it affects you. You're hopeless, you're helpless, and so on. And when you have already a bit of pain in the body, you know, stress or anxiety, or, you know, can all aggravate what's already there in the body. So yeah, then I had chronic Achilles issues. I'm a runner, so that's not useful. So I have my fair share of pain myself. And as I said, I always look for techniques that get me out of pain drug-free. And because I found them, I'm very passionate then to share them with people. So we'll do a few things together today, and maybe it will help a little bit. Yeah, so I spent lots of money and time to find techniques, and yeah, it's great that we can help ourselves. We have the tools, and inside very often. So since then I've run marathons, although the white coats have told me to stop running and so on. So yeah, it's you can change things, even if you heard that you can't do this, you can't do that. There may be a chance to recover. Dr. Perry Nicholson, I don't know if anyone of you knows him. He's a pain specialist as well. And he coined the term pain is a request for change. And with that, he didn't mean that the issue is in the tissue. That's definitely one myth, at least it's not the only case. Yes, there may be damage in some tissues and so on, but there are other things. So when it comes to pain, I don't know if you all have a little niggle or, maybe real pain, chronic illness even, but I'd like you to ask yourself, what does it prevent you from doing on a day-to-day basis? How long has it been going on for? Weeks, months, years, Are you taking any painkillers, any muscle relaxants, any lotions and potions? Are there side effects from it? Constipation, all sorts. Does the pain affect your sleep or your concentration? Do you worry about what will be in 5, 10, 20 years' time? Do you worry about that? So can you see that the pain is never, ever only in the tissues? So I wanted to spare you from any PowerPoints, whatever, so I just drew this earlier, okay? So you can see that it's a mix of biological, psychological, and social factors that contribute to pain. So pain is in the middle. And in my day-to-day experience, this model definitely makes sense. So when you have a chronic disease, chronic discomfort, pain, tissue damage, whatever, this is the biological the biological part, inflammation, swelling, bones might be involved, muscles might be involved, you know, the brain function might be involved. You may have an abnormal structural issue, you know, have a prolapse here or a scoliosis there. But that's not the whole puzzle. So, as I said, the psychological part plays a part as well. So it affects your moods. If this pain has been going on for long enough, it will affect your mood. You might be a bit grumpy with your loved ones or at work or whatever. And you know, if that goes on for long enough, it may damage your relationship or definitely change it. And we don't really want that. You know, you may feel stressed for whatever reasons, from the pain or because you have a load of work or, you know, other commitments and all that, but that can aggravate the pain. Coping mechanisms, what coping mechanisms have you got in place? What beliefs, you know, if someone tells you, you know, you need to give up that and you will never be able to do this again, whatever, you know, it will change things and have an effect on the pain as well. You may catastrophize, you know, so, you know, think, oh, maybe I will end up, I exaggerate a bit, but, you know, in a wheelchair or, you know, so, and these things are not helping us. They can aggravate the physical pain that you're feeling. Then social factors play into it. Cultural factors, economic, you know, are you the only breadwinner? Do you have people to look after, your kids, your parents, your grandkids, whatever it is, you know, all that might be a burden for you, you know. Are you missing out on family and friend stuff, you know, fun stuff because of your pain? You have to cancel social commitments and so on, and all this plays into the pain. I hope this makes sense. That once you are aware of the pattern that's going on for you, what makes it maybe a bit worse, or then you can start making changes. And yeah, obviously Vanessa has just given us some hints about the zapping, the procrastination. There you go, just apply all that, you know. Yeah, so today I want to make this a bit more interactive. So it would be lovely if you put on the videos, but if not, then hopefully you can follow some of it at least. So I suggest we all start sitting. So at the minute I was standing, I have a sit-stand desk, but I will be sitting now. Okay, so I said earlier, if you have, bring some tennis balls. I often use yoga tune-up balls, or these are called acupoint balls or something. Yeah, so you can, they are readily available on Amazon, and they are just a little bit different consistency. They are a little bit, I always say felty, they have a grip. So the tennis ball is a bit, not, but it's a good size. So it's a good start and it's a cheap investment. So someone was saying earlier they bought the ball, so it's a great start. If you don't have balls today, we can also just use a pair of socks. So if you don't have one right now, maybe run to the bedroom and get a pair or a couple of pairs. Because when you put them all together, they are roughly the size of a tennis ball, and we will get away with that for tonight. And even you know, maybe Vanessa, you could also take, if Zenta has any of these, you know, kind of beach balls, whatever, this can work. They just need to be roughly the same size. If you have some, these are called Franklin balls, Pilates balls, slightly bigger than tennis balls, but anything like that will do. Okay, so, but before we use the balls, let's just sit with our feet parallel, hip width apart, or whatever feels comfortable. And so I'm sitting on a slightly harder surface, not on my office chair. Depending on where you sit, it may feel slightly different, but you can play with this at another time as well. So we're sitting with both feet firmly on the ground, facing forwards. Just notice, where do we touch the chair? How does it feel? Is the weight evenly distributed? How do you feel? So this part is a body awareness part, which we can also apply to pain. So how do we feel? Energy, where are we touching? Maybe you sit a little bit more on one cheek than the other. Maybe it is even. Just notice, no judgment, just notice what is right now. Good. Okay, now we get coming to the breath, and we could do a whole session just on breath, but I'm sure there are other specialists who can provide a session there. For today, I just want you to take a few breaths and feel where they are for you today. That may change with the situation and the time of the day and so on. Is it in the belly? Is it here? Or maybe it's up here. Where is it you feel your breath most? And just take note of that. And then, I hope you can see me here. Now I just want you to just check the movement of your neck, shoulders and arms. So turn your head to one side, then to the other. See how this feels. Maybe there's a bit of tension there. Maybe you're perfect. Maybe one side is different to the other. Again, we just notice what's there. No judgment. Then we take it down to the chest. So all the way down. Can you feel it pulling in the back of the neck? Maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, then stare at the ceiling. See if that feels okay, or maybe a little bit tight. Ear to shoulder, how does that feel? And the other side. Good. Now take your arms up and just see how that feels. And then go up the sideways. And again, just check how this feels. Can you get your hands behind? You know, I always say the bra move, but you know what I mean, you know. For some people, this is tricky. And, you know, can you rotate the whole arm, or is that a bit uncomfortable? Just notice what is right now. Okay. Good. So now, make an effort to sit a little bit more upright. Maybe you were already doing that, but I should have, before we do that, come back to posture, just normal, you know, normal. Okay, and take a deep breath in. And just feel how that feels. And now sit a little bit more upright. Breathe in again and out, and just see how that feels. Is it a tiny bit different when you sit slightly straighter? And then check in again with your rotating of the head and taking the chin down and up and ear to shoulder. And I'm just curious if you can feel a difference. Feel free to unmute yourself and contribute. You may feel that it feels a little bit easier, you know.
It feels easier, Elke, but I'm now aware of how much pain I have, which I'm probably masking, like not tuning into.
We often tend to, you know, you may find this a bit strenuous, but you know, when you then do a little bit of that, you think, oh, this is so much easier. But if you go on for long enough, you know, you'll create issues for more issues for yourself. So yeah, it's always good to strive for a good alignment. Not that this is just check-ins, okay? We will do something for it, work against it afterwards, but we just check in with our bodies right now. Now, another point is hydration, and Vanessa can give a talk on that. I enjoyed your water challenge last month. And the movement, and again, Vanessa, you are the expert in the room with your Zumbini and whatnot, but yeah, movement is important. And even if you have pain, it is good to move. It will move lymph, it will move blood and so on. It gives you some feel-good hormones. It's just so important to keep moving, because if you don't move, you get more rusty, you know, and you make things worse for yourself. So even if you have terrible pain or whatever, and if you just are sedentary, you know, it's spiraling down rather than helping you. So move as much as you can, keep that up. So now, I don't want to bore you with anatomy too much. We are all familiar with the skeletal system, okay? So all our bones, 206 or how many bones in our bodies. We're also familiar with the muscular system, okay? So 600 and whatever muscles in the body we have on average. And then this set together forms the musculoskeletal system. But what we often forget about, or what's been kind of ignored for hundreds of years, is the fascial system. Luckily, that's the new buzzword. It's been more recognized over the last 20 years, but for years and years and years, the fascial stuff is the white stuff when you dissect someone. Not that I've ever done it. I've been in a dissecting lab, but yeah, so it's the white stuff that they used to just put in the bin. They thought it was garbage, but this is where a lot of health issues are rooted, and you can do something about it. That's the good thing. But did you know that MRI scans, X-rays and CT scans, you cannot see fascia on those images. So really, if you just rely on those results, and it's good that we have all this technology to see some things, but it's not the be all and end all. There's, you know, there are other things. And so if you've tried lots and lots of different modalities to combat pain and you haven't found the answer yet, I recommend you look at the fascia, because there are things you can do, yeah. And the fascia is different for each and every one of us. It's a little bit like a fingerprint, yeah. When you have your passport renewed, it's different for each and every one of us. Fascia stores the trauma, the experience in your life that you had, and it contributes to your posture. Fascia is the stuff that holds us up, gives us our shape, our form. Okay, and if things have been not moved enough and, you know, stuck down, I always like to compare it a bit like Velcro, you know, or like, let's say you wash a woolen jumper too hot. What happens? It's going all like felt, or I don't know the word to say, but you get the picture. And it's all, you know, it's not the same elasticity and so on. So we need to get that back. And then, you know, you can change posture and pain and all sorts of things. So the good news is we can do something about it. Okay, and we're going to start tonight with a few things. Should definitely make a difference. So another important person was Ida Rolf. She was the founder of structural integration. So she coined the term, where you think it is, it ain't. So where you feel the pain in the body is not necessarily where the root cause is, okay? So I urge you to look at that, you know, when you have any bodily aches and pains, you know, you may find the answer somewhere else, but in the area where you feel the pain. And then Tom Myers, he got all sorts of things. It's called anatomy trains. So it's on nice posters. You can Google that and see how this is all connected. So this is quite interesting to look at when you have pain, you know, and get ideas where else you may want to look for the root cause. To make this all a little bit more fun, I thought maybe you want to join in with the desk down. So imagine you have, so you can see I can move fully, okay, I've got the full range, no problem here, yeah, all good, yeah, but let's say, you can all do that with me. I'm wearing something that I can scrunch and, you know, and you can see what's happening. So imagine, I give myself a bit of a restriction, okay, because I'm sitting all day, you know, this is short, and I might even cross my legs as a bad habit. I do, so, but, you know, and then, so I give myself a restriction here. I should have said, I suffer from, this is just a, you know, it's not my health story, but I just try and make a point here. So I come in with a shoulder pain, okay? But fact is, I'm sitting a lot in my job and whatnot, so I have a restriction in my hip. Maybe I even had some trauma earlier in my life. So I give myself a restriction here, and if you have tight enough clothes, you can do that with me. Now, you've all seen I could move my arm normally. Now, if I go, it's not happening. I cannot. I can force it a bit more, but this is all I'm getting. Not good enough, okay? Now, if I keep this restriction here, and I try to move the other arm, all of a sudden I think, bugger, I can't move that arm fully, okay? Then it will go, and I can move freely again, okay? So I just want to make a point that the pain is not necessarily where you think the cause is. So now you understand all that, we go to a few practical things, if that's okay. So I want you to take your balls, if you have them, or your folded up socks, okay? With balls it will be a little bit more pronounced, but hopefully you'll get some relief from it. So I'll take them slightly bigger balls, okay? What we do is we put them under our seated bones here, and now we sit on the balls. So you're on or just slightly in front of your seated bones. And here we just take a few breaths. And then we roll slightly forwards, or, you know, you just do a little bit of a forward bend. And a little bit of a back bend, if that's available to you. Then side bend a little. And go to the other side. I can even throw in a bit of a rotation to the other side. Okay, now lift one leg up. Just, you know, just keep the other foot on the ground and then lift one leg up a little bit and put it back down. Do the other side, put it back down. Now, if you, I use my hands, it's really the legs, but just so that you see. So I veer or shear the legs a little bit forwards and backwards, if that makes sense, yeah? One forward, one backward. It's like you're doing a bit of a pelvic shift here as well, yeah? One leg slightly comes forwards, one knee is forwards, and then you redraw it. You draw it back and do the other side. Good. Now take the balls out and have a feel. How do you sit there? Can you feel a difference? And for those who are happy to share, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I like it with the balls. Am I supposed to say?
You mean leave them there, or you feel better now after you've sat on them?
Oh, right, okay. I liked, because going back to your first question, I could feel that the weight is more on the right side of my body, which does correlate with what I know, that I've got muscle depletion in the left side, my left leg, and in fact in my buttocks.
Okay.
So having the balls where you asked us to place it, I was like, oh, this feels much nicer.
As long as they are a bit more squidgy, that's fine.
I think I'm going to invest.
Probably not there to stay.
I will get some of those squidgy balls. Love it.
It's nearly a little bit of proprioception work as well, okay? But this was more what I often find, and I don't know if anyone else feels the same, but I always feel more grounded when I do this. So I just do this for a couple of minutes or even less. Take it out, and I feel more grounded. I feel straighter, so sitting better, in a better posture. Okay, and if you are a desk jockey at work, it's a good thing to just do these things. Certainly, Vanessa, you're spending a fair bit on Zoom, yeah, or other people on desks, yeah. It's just good to do this. It doesn't take long, and it makes such a difference, yeah. So hopefully, people with back pain may already feel, oh, it feels a little bit better, okay? There's plenty more, but yeah, I obviously said I cover a little bit for everything. So next up is
Beck wanted to just come in.
Sorry?
I think Beck just wanted to come in.
Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't got any balls, so I tried with the socks, but just kind of gave up, but I'll try it again. But are you just on a normal chair with no back? Is that what you were sitting on?
Yes, at the moment, it's only for demonstration, yeah. This is the piano chair that was in this room for other reasons, but you could use a kitchen chair or something possibly a bit harder than your office chair, but you could try it on an office chair. Just it might be a bit more wobbly, certainly, because it's got rolls underneath, but you know, it's
So how far along your buttocks did you place them? Are they just kind of in the middle?
I put them here, so it's just can you see?
Oh yeah.
So if I show you on Brownie, my little skeleton, it's just in front, or slightly touching. Can you see? There, on slightly touching here, and then in front of the seated bones.
Lovely, very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and I was just wondering how much you kind of believe in somatic body pain, or if that's something you have, or if you're going to talk about that in a bit. But how things somatically lodge themselves in your body from emotional pain and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. This is I probably won't have the time to cover this in this talk. You can invite me back, Vanessa.
I think we've got time for one more demonstration, Elke, but we could definitely have a follow-up conversation with Elke in the future specifically about that, Bex.
Yes, yeah. So I'm a
or booking for a one-to-one, which we'll tell you about afterwards.
Of course, yeah. So pop the balls or the socks in your armpits, okay? And then try and keep them there. So that might be a bit of a challenge, but still stay as relaxed as you can, okay? Now, I just want to... Okay, so from here, roll your shoulders forwards. Or before we do that, you may even want to check in your own little icon there where your shoulders are sitting. Are they up by your ears? Yeah, because people often have tension in the neck and shoulders, and I often see people, they look like a cupboard, square. Okay, and so where are they? How much room is between the ear and the shoulders? And obviously, you checked earlier your range of movement. So now we stick the balls in the armpit, And now we start rolling the shoulders forwards and slowly rolling them back. And again, forwards and back. Good. Then you hike one shoulder up and down. And then you slide the other shoulder up and down. And then you do a bit of a side bend to one side. And then go to the other side. And we always, with fascia, we always work slowly. Okay. Now we go back to the first side. And we roll the shoulder forwards. And we come back. We go to the other side. Roll the shoulders forwards. Come back. Go back to the first side. Roll the shoulder backwards. Other side. Shoulder backwards. Roll. Go to the first side again. Hike your shoulder up. And slide the shoulder down. And the other side again. Good. Now one more move. So we move to the first side again. And then we just do a bit of a nod, like you're saying yes in this sort of position. Okay, a few nods, a few yeses. And then we go to the other side. And again, we do a few yes movements. Good. And then you take this out. And have a feel. How you feel. Have your shoulders dropped. They may feel different. They may look different. Now check your range of movement of the neck, shoulders. My neck always feels freer after this. No more pulling now.
Wow.
Okay, just see how this feels. And this wasn't long, was it?
No, that was great, Elke. I think, Louise, did you want to say something there? Just got to let the cat out.
Yeah, just wow, what a difference. Just doing those simple exercises makes such a difference.
Yes.
I'd say don't get tennis balls because I'm using that and they're too hard. It's a bit uncomfortable. Use something else. But my range of movements, just like you said, Elke, is a lot better. My posture's better. And it's something I could easily do while I'm at home. Brilliant.
Certainly. Yeah, and as I said, I mean, these are called Franklin balls, okay? And if you can Google even Franklin, Eric Franklin, this is a method. So you can even find lots of YouTube videos there. He's got all sorts of, these have little holes, so you can, for people with arthritis, so you can hold them better. But yeah, tennis balls are a cheap start if you like, but definitely a better investment would be a Pilates ball or these Franklin balls or the yoga tune-up balls, something like that. But I just wanted to, to introduce you to a few ways, and there's plenty more you can do. So I'd be happy to come back next year. I think Vanessa's fully booked for the rest of this calendar year. But,
yeah, it's fully booked. But do you know what, Elke? I want to just say, and women, and if you want to express your thank you, gratitude to Elke here in the chat, thank you so much, because I feel that sometimes the practical demonstrations or what we do need, for me, what was coming up is like, I must be holding on to a lot of my pain and stress, because when you're asking me to do I'm like, oh, I didn't feel that until I was asked to do that. So I think I need a massage. I think that's what's coming up for me, that I'm holding on to a lot of stress and tension in my shoulders and in my neck. But thank you so much. So I've left your website details there. If anybody wants to check out Elke's services, what she does, please go to the website. And do you just want to leave us with, what do you offer in terms of people making that connection with you, Elke, the initial connection?
Yeah, if you wanted to know a bit more, I offer a free discovery call, so you can book that through the website. free discovery call, you know, up to half an hour. We can have a chat. You can tell me your issues, and then I can, you know, tell you more if and how I can help. You know, I love to help people in general, and self-care is a big tool that obviously you could use, you know. And for Bex, I think you asked the somatic stuff. I don't know if you heard of tension and trauma releasing exercises. That's the modality I use for that. It's on the website too. So have a look. You know,
in fact, you've got a brilliant
call with you.
Yeah, you've got a brilliant demonstration on that. So we'll probably have you back for that one, Elke. So thank you very, very much. So we've ran slightly over, so we're not going to take a break as such, but I'm going to leave this slide up here in terms of if you are watching this on the replay, or if you know somebody who is a health and wellbeing expert and they're wanting to get their message to people who are actually interested in looking after their body, you should be advertising here. I have a wonderful marketing plan for health and wellbeing experts. Doesn't just include the advert I'm talking about here. There's other elements of it as well. So please do check out. That's what I should have changed. I knew there was a mistake in this presentation. I couldn't remember what it was. It's not contact Vanessa-Mary. It's connect@vanessa-mary.com. That is the email address that you need. No wonder why people are not emailing me, because I've had the wrong email address there for about a couple of months. So it's connect. Anyway, I'm going to skip that icebreaker. We can come back to that icebreaker during the networking, but I just wanted to really share some information with you, which I said at the beginning. If you're going on any type of journey for your health and wellness, your mindset is key. So this is really, really important. So I just want to share with you how I had to change my mindset, and I have changed my life over the course of about 9 years now. So this is my journey with nutrition. Basically, I wasn't eating properly or regularly. There was a lot of takeaways. I was living in Manchester, so this is when I was hanging out in Manchester. Rebecca will know those stories. In fact, you used to tell me off a lot for some of the food that I was eating during those days. So I've got a witness. And basically, I had low energy levels, even though I was exercising a lot. So Rebecca, I don't know if you can remember when I was doing my netball, I was involved in the netball team as an older woman, and I was bike riding. You know, I was very active, but I wasn't very energetic. But things had to change, and this is where my the personalized nutritional plan really made a difference for me. I managed to drop 2 dress sizes. Then I had Zenta, which, sorry, I've kind of like skipped. I didn't have Zenta straight away. There was a big gap. But when I had Zenta, as an older woman going back to maternity, it wasn't as though I didn't have the energy. In fact, I was getting some really good stats, but I did put some baby weight on. So I needed to shift that. And what I did is I continued to stick to my nutritional plan during the pregnancy, after the pregnancy. So the regular nutrition has always been part of what I was doing. The exercise I touched on before started with the pram fit walk. So you can see me. I think I've got a pram. Yeah, I'm holding a pram that was taken on pram fit. And keeping accountable is what's really the name of the game for me right now. So I'm involved in something called the 10-day marathons, which is brilliant. You know, I spoke about this in terms of procrastination before. 10-day marathons are a very unique way of helping you to be around like-minded people, getting education on nutrition daily, but also for you to be reflective about how your body is changing. So what do I offer? I can offer you a complete body composition. So I can do this long distance, but if you are local to me in Nottingham, you can sit around my kitchen table, we'll have a herbal tea together, and I will give you we'll have a look at your body composition, and I'll give you an action plan so you can immediately get some really good things into place. And yeah, I'm going to skip that part. I just want to tell you about the 10-day marathon here. So the 10-day marathon is ongoing. The next one is starting next Monday. And it's focused around your breakfast, which I know might seem a little bit odd. Like, why are you only interested in my breakfast? But we'll have that conversation if you wanted to speak to me about that. And what I've realized over the last 10 days of me doing the marathon is in terms of releasing weight, I've released a little bit of weight. But what I've really noticed is I've maintained my weight, so I haven't gained any weight, and that's just been incredibly exciting for me to say, oh, okay, the changes that I am doing. So yes, we do things like looking at our food diaries, but being a busy mom, I can't always keep up with that. So I have a rough idea of what I am consuming, and I know, okay, this is great, I'm maintaining the weight. And what I want to do is obviously bring it down on the next level. So if you want to know more about that, please get in contact. The next one is next Monday. So just going back on here, always mess these slides up. Okay. I have an invitation for you. If you are busy and you are not really doing what we call the emotional well-being side and really helping yourself to de-stress, but in a different way to what Elke has done with us this evening, I'd love to invite you to the Self-Care Sunday sessions, which are part of what I would say my spiritual offering. We do lots of different things in there. So it is a talking circle. We're online, but we have a talking circle. We do meditation, and we're also going through the chakra system. So if you want to know more about that, the next one is coming up this Sunday at 8 o'clock, but that is bi-weekly. So you can fit in at any time. All right, so we're going to move on to the raffle. So I have lights. I've got to take my lights out so I can shake my bowl. But there's lights. I love it. All right. So what is the prize? Do I have that listed? No, I don't. So I explained the prize. Anyway, the first prize is called, my mind's gone blank. I think it's just called self-love. That's it. It's self-love. It's your self-love. But we do a half-day experience together. And the second prize is to win a fantastic 7-day skincare, 7-day results kit. So let's do the second prize first. Let's see who's getting that kit. Thanks! Woohoo!
So cross my fingers and I won.
Well, what we're going to do on that, Bex, is we'll have that as a live experience. So we'll have a pamper day.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have that as a pamper day. So I'll present the kit to you, but then I'll bring some other products and we'll have a pamper day. All right, so well done. Okay, and who is having that self-love experience? Half a day with me. And it is done remotely, or if you're close to me, we will get together. It's Louise! Oh my! Oh my, oh my, oh my. So Louise, obviously I will still honour the second session that you were having, but you've experienced the emotional fitness. So emotional fitness is very much part of it, but we do other things on the call as well.
Okay, thank you.
Brilliant. Woohoo! Gosh, I'm really excited. Okay, so I've spoken to you. Oh gosh, yes. Can I have a drum roll? I really need your support on this. I want you to big it up. Okay, save the date. Right. So let me tell you what's happening now. Traditionally, I've never done a health and wellbeing cafe in August, and I'm sticking to that. I need my rest. I need to focus on my self-care and spend time with my family. But save the date rather. I would love to see you back with me, not for one night, but for 2 nights in September. Why? Because I have got a very special return of the Health and Wellbeing Cafe. It's called How to Future-Proof Your Family. There will be VIP access. There will be bonuses for the VIPs. So we're starting at 7:30 as we've done here. It will be happening in Zoom, but who will you be hearing from? Well, over the course of 2 nights, you're going to hear from an infertility coach. That's Sue. You're going to hear from a financial educator. That's Rob. You're going to hear from a sleep specialist, Marion. You're going to hear about guardianship and how you can protect your assets. That, oh, went too quick. That is Gary. You're going to hear from a neurodiversity coach, and her name's Annette. You're going to hear from a parenting coach who's got a very interesting story. Her name's Laura Helen. You're going to hear from our resident in-house expert environmental product advisor, Jeanette. So if you're inside the Facebook community, you'll see posts from her anyway. And you're going to hear from a bereavement coach. Her name is Sharon. And of course, you're going to hear from me. So this is a very special event. Okay, so please save the date. Please invite your friends, your family, tell them what is coming up. You're going to hear me talking about this in all the different places where you see me hanging out. Very, very important. So that is how to proof your family, how to future-proof your family, sorry. Now we have come to the end of the session. And one of the things my good friend Beck said to me last night on the call is you should be asking for reviews. You should be saying to people, can you leave me a review? And I was like, Rebecca, I do forget these things. So I've written it into my slides. So here is me asking. I am going to put a link underneath. If you are on my Facebook page, or I do have a Google page, I will put the links. So the follow-up information you'll get for being on the call, I will give you those links. But yeah, it is important, Beck, you're so right. Rebecca's an award-winning chef, by the way, vegan chef. And she told me that reviews are so important. So if you've heard anything, even from Elke, if you wanted to drop in maybe your LinkedIn profile, I will put that underneath the recording, but if you wanted to drop it in for the women on the call, if you liked what Elke was saying, if anything that I've said this evening has touched you, then please leave us a review. It will really support us to reaching out to other women, and Elke works with men as well, to actually help us to support more souls in this world. All right, so that is it. We are going to stop the recording. So that was the presentation part. If you've watched the replay, please let us know that you were here by leaving us a comment. I really love to read the comments. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you've heard. And also, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and you will get notifications of when the new videos come on the channel. So that is it for the recording. For those of you who are still here, please stay and network. All right, thank you. Bye.